now tuned in to the Radio Pathways. Hosted by
Thank you, Joshua. It's an honor and a
Joshua Saul. Unlocking human potential.
We are going to engage in a panel discussion which commences now. This will be published as an audio podcast and it promises to be an exciting conversation. So listeners, I encourage you to participate by sharing your thoughts and feedback in the comments section. Our panel will focus on how best we can equip the youth with the necessary knowledge and tips so that they are able to make wise decisions about their education, job searching, and of course about their career paths. Allow me to introduce my panel, all inspiring and ready to empower. We are joined by Ms. Karen here at SVA Holdings. She's a training coordinator. She has been involved in the world of retail since the age of 13, working in a small shop as a casual. Her passion is in learnerships and in seeing our youth taking their first steps into the world of work. We are then joined by Banele, an aspiring future leader, I must say. We are also joined by a young professional, a Christian, a wife, and a mother. Ladies and gent, welcome. I think there are a lot of concerns about empowerment and especially on the employment side of things from our youth today. And I want to start off with the elements that can lead us to finding the answers that we want to hear today. Growth and empowerment. Both very difficult elements that does seem important at this moment for South African youth to understand, and from a personal growth point of view where our youth lack the knowledge and the resources to empower themselves. Now, Ms. Jackie, I want to throw this one into your corner. Firstly, do you agree with this statement that our youth does not have adequate information on how to access these employment opportunities that are available? And most importantly, what does employment mean to you?
Thank you so much for that lovely intro. And thank you for having me. I must be honest, I don't think that this information is not available. I think it is. It's just a matter of you wanting to find it, first of all. Yes, we're from different backgrounds, different resources that we have. So that could be challenging. But for me, I still feel like if you really want to achieve something, you just have to give it your all, ask questions. In a community, I'm from the rural areas of Limpopo. So in a community like that, you'll always have that someone that made it, right? And then you'd have someone that you inspire to be like. So it's important that the youth must have a role model that you know, not a person that you see on TV, right? A person that obviously you won't know their ins and outs, but a person that you see on a daily basis, how they raise a family, what they've achieved in life. Not a person on TV. We don't know their ins and outs to that extent. Education is the key. Talent is great. I mean, the youth of today, my 2000, I know, you guys, the dancing, the singing is great. People are just popping up podcasts and so on, which is great, right? But education is key, guys. A lot of people that have made it, they made it out of that education. You'll find, let's say, a DJ or a broadcaster, something that like you do. You can hear that the English is quite, eloquent. It's education. So we cannot take that away, right? You need to be able to engage. Let's say you bring a person that holds a PhD, and then when your education is on level, grade 7, what kind of communication are you going to have with those people? So for me, grade 12 is important. You have to go to school. And we know we've got public schools, we've got private schools, so you've got no excuse. Once you pursue or you give it your all, whatever grades you get, obviously you have to pass in order to enter the university. We have NSFAS, guys. And I've been telling the youth that you don't have to pay back the money. That's what they fought for. Remember, they fought for this? What they fought for was that you take me to school, yes, because I'm disadvantaged. It's not my choice, it's where I come from. But I want to be given this opportunity like any other, and then I don't have to pay. I think that's what they fought for, and I think it was a great cause. Maybe they could have done it another way, but the government doesn't listen. But yes, so you've got no excuse, to be honest. I feel like, but obviously to get there, you need to get matric. So there's no way you can say, I don't have that information. There's no way. So yeah, and then get to find out what kind of careers you can do as time goes on. I feel like once you step into varsity, that's when maybe you can have an idea. You can always change later on if you feel like this is not for you, because maybe you lacked that information before you joined. But it has to start with you at a very young age. What is it that you want to achieve? Find a role model, Take a taxi once in a month if you can to the nearest internet cafe. It's always there. There must be. I'm from the rurals, so I know. So yeah, employment is important. That's another question you put to me. With the rates that we have in South Africa, it's very bad. I understand that. But then you check on the internet, they're always looking for people. And then you ask yourself, what's happening here? What's happening? Maybe we should go back as a country and look at the vacancies that are available, and then maybe take it from there. I won't lie, most people are not really, the 9-to-5s, they're not really doing what they love, but it's feeding their families, guys, right? Doing what you love, can we do it maybe at a later stage? Not that you have to now suffer and say, hey, this country is not giving me job opportunities because I want to do this. Do whatever it takes. If it means you need to find a learnership, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Help out, volunteer, literally knock. Actually, my first job, I had to knock at the retail relay doors and knocked, and I volunteered, and in a month they took me. They said they want me here just because I knocked. So maybe the level of pride must go. Yes, this thing of employment is down. Is it really bad in South Africa? Is it really, really bad? Or besides nepotism, we have vacancies that are available. Did you study for it? What are you doing to get in?
Thank you very much for that. You've set us on the right pace, really, from understanding what employment is and what it means to you. But Ms. K, I want to come to you with this one. Employment. The stats that proves that employment opportunities have been created and that new opportunities are being created every day. And this, to me, it shows a sense of success. But what steps should we follow to go about in finding these employment opportunities? And what are your expectations when you provide these employment opportunities to our young people?
I think it's very much as Jackie said earlier on. It's your net cafe. Go into your websites. Go and look. It's all in technology. Radio stations. We advertise all the time. There's employment agencies. There's Indeed. There's Learnerships out there. There are hundreds and hundreds of courses for free. And I know that we don't have all access to computers, and we don't all have websites. We don't all have data. And volunteer, guys, volunteer. I can't tell you how many CVs I see every day. And those that have never worked but have volunteered are the first ones we put aside to actually go and chat to them. Because the guy that just sits at home and does nothing, absolutely nothing, is showing that he's actually not interested. You've got to get off your bums and get out there and go and look for it. We're not going to do it. We can't. How do I know you exist if you don't send me your CV? How does an employment agency know that you're alive if you haven't knocked on a door? We don't know that there are people across the road that are hungry because they don't tell us. So you've got to go out there. You've got to go, first of all, go sit at the net, or get involved, get interviews, look and research. Education, I do agree, is vital. However, not everybody can go to university. We're not all made that way. Some of us are better at a trade. And go and seek TVET colleges. Go and learn a trade. Some of us are IT. I have a brilliant intern. I have 5 interns at the moment for IT. 5 that are here. So it's up to the individual as far as employee. And yes, there are vacancies. And yes, it is a success. The sad thing is that they're not reaching out to the youth. I think government's giving us all these lovely promises that they are going to give us all employment, but how do you know about that employment? Has anybody told you? No. They're not getting the message to the youth. So you don't know if they exist. Okay? And that is, yes, it is successful. And there are vacancies, there's plenty of them. But you've got to go and find them. And it's up to you. All right? And as far as the employer, what are we looking for? We're looking for people that have a right attitude. Obviously, if you're going to say, I want to come and be a cashier, we can train you. But if you're going to come and tell me you want to be a doctor, I can't take you haven't been taught. Okay, so you've got to have the correct credentials. If you're going to go for a specialized job, you have to have trained for a specialized job. For another job, straight out of school, man, oh man, we can help you. But number one is attitude. Punctuality. Guys, it's so important. Incredibly important. People that are late are showing disrespect. Employees don't like that. Okay? And listening and respectful. Be respectful and go the extra mile. Those guys that come in here, I watch the interns, those that don't leave at exactly 5 o'clock. Okay, some of them have to get their taxis, or they're here slightly early and they're behind their desk and they're working and they come say, listen, I'm bored, have you got something for me to do? Those are the guys we're going to take on. And that is what we want as employees. It's what we really, really want. We want punctuality, respect, hardworking, team players, and absolute the right attitude, a happy face.
I want to take this opportunity really and put a spotlight that in this learnership already there's been a number of learners that have been absorbed from this program and they've signed contract. They've been offered permanent positions. Coming to you, Banele, you are one of the learners that have proved to excel in this learnerships, and you still promise to go all the way and rise through the ranks in management. Please share to us, what does this learnership experience mean to you, and what can it mean to others who are still looking to get this opportunity?
This opportunity means everything to me, so much to a point that, I was able to put in all the amount of determination I had in my bones, and I just exerted the best energy. We've tried to maintain the same levels of punctuality, attendance, levels of participation in class, and when it comes to the workplace environment, we've also been doing the same. So we haven't been treating one opportunity better than the other opportunity. We've just taken everything on the same level. So for me it means everything, and if I can share my story on how I actually got this learnership, right? I was sitting at home. We had just completed another learnership at another company, and we were waiting for our certificates, right? But at the time, when you apply for a job, you cannot really use that qualification because you do not have the proof, right? And so I had tried to communicate with the people in HR in that company to give me the details so that I can add as a reference. So while doing that, while waiting for that, I was applying. I had profiles on Indeed, on LinkedIn, on Job24. I was applying for different positions that even I knew that I did not qualify for those, but I was just applying so that chances are if you applied 10 vacancies a day, 1 or 2 are gonna call you back the next day or the next week. So I was just opening up my chances to, and then I saw this facilitator position that I knew when I checked the requirements that I do not qualify, but I applied anyways. And then it was Miss Karen that I spoke to, and then she responded and said, you know what? You do not qualify for this position. I'm sorry to let you know that you don't qualify, but you will keep your details in case anything comes up. And if I can recall, that was in March of 2022, right? And so about a month or 2 later, I got a job where I was actually volunteering. It was a voluntary job. I was volunteering with the SAPS and social workers at a company called Lifeline. So what we were doing there was basically, conducting referrals to victims of trauma, crime, abuse, who needed, psychological help. People were having issues with, properties at their home, a family house they fighting over, or somebody doesn't want a family member to live with them. So we would literally contain and then refer. That was our job. So while I was under Lifeline doing, the victim support volunteer job, Miss K then sent me an email. This was about 6 months later. She was like, okay, hi Banele, this is, Miss Karen, I don't know if you're going to remember me, but you since applied, and then I kept your CV. So now we do have a learnership opportunity, and on this one, I would like to let you know that you actually do qualify. So if you're interested, then you can be a part of our team, and then we can, take on this learnership program. So I was really excited for the opportunity, and then I told my superiors at Lifeline that, I got this opportunity and I want to go for an interview. And so I took a day off, and then I came for the interview. It went very well. I gave them feedback, and then had to sign my resignation letter. And so I took this opportunity with both hands, because I knew that I am from a certain place where I was working and getting a stipend, and not a lot of people were fortunate to even be there. So now I'm getting something better. It means I must treat it the same, or even more determination. I didn't have to arrive at work early under Lifeline, because we were opening at 9, and it's not a distance from where I lived. But now this opportunity means you're going to take 2 taxis to where you're supposed to get your learning from, and then you're going to take a taxi, or sometimes we even walk to our workplace. So now it meant I had to wake up early. I had to recenter my focus, and just literally have that one-on-one conversation with myself, and just tell myself that, what, I need to show determination and always be ready for any opportunity that could come while under this learnership. So that's what it means for me. And regarding how people out there can take these opportunities, as Miss Jackie said earlier, we have internet access. We have opportunity. The world is now moving into a digital space. It's not a lot of word of mouth that happens, even though it still does. But word of mouth doesn't really, get to people's ears in different houses and homes. And so I feel like, the access of internet is what is going to help the youth today. Just creating these profiles on all of these websites that, work as Harambe or the SVA or every other company. We just communicate with those people, and then they know the places, or they know the companies that are hiring, and so they can always refer us to those companies. They can add as word of mouth that, okay, this person did come here looking for a job, and they were determined, and punctuality means a lot also. So those are the things that build a perception of you in the hiring person's mind. So we have to always be careful and always look for opportunities online, whether it's a job, whether you want to start your own business. It is, it's getting outdated to, be like speaking in word of mouth, or trying to, but like go online, try to see what, free courses are there, apply. And other people have that thing, the pride, where they just like, no, we're not going to do this because it's for free. People feel like when things are for free, they're not going to be beneficial for them. Free courses actually do work, and the fact that you were able to attend at a place for 12 months or more for free does say a lot to someone who's looking at your CV, who could be able to give you an opportunity to either study further or get an opportunity of, working.
Please go ahead, Ms. K.
You guys do to your CVs. I deal with a lot of CVs every day. Obviously don't make your CVs too long, but tell people about yourselves. Tell people what your hobbies are. It's so important to understand the person you're actually reading about, and accuracy. Go through that CV 20 times before you submit it. Make sure all your spelling's correct. Your way you've written it is absolutely perfect.
Well, Banele, also to add on what you have shared with us, how I got into this learnership, I actually had from a friend, Aubrey. One morning he called me. It was around 5 a.m. in the morning. He called and then asked, Joshua, here's an opportunity, an employment opportunity. Would you like to make use of this opportunity? And of course I was interested, and that's when he came in and then he gave me the direction that I had to be in Sandton, Rivonia, for this interview. At the time I got into a taxi. I wasn't even aware of where I was going, but I made sure that I was at that place and in time. And of course, with volunteering, I can share also my experience with that. Before I got this opportunity of this learnership, already in my CV, I had a few experiences that I've been in. Because of volunteering in different organizations, I've been able to actually carry some positions in management. I mean, I've been able to supervise people, and this is all because of my interest. It was all because of my willingness to actually showcase my capability and of course my abilities, that if given these opportunities I can actually deliver. And it comes to all of us, even as listeners, that when we give our services out for free, of course, in return we'll be gaining this soft skills, such as being able to communicate effectively. Of course, also it comes to gaining this communication skills. You also gain the confidence to be able to articulate your thoughts to people. Because at most you might be in places, you might be speaking to people. Actually, you'll never know who you're talking to at that moment. So also with volunteering, it comes with networking with different people. Therefore, you might expose yourself to different opportunities without even realizing that. Now, here's what's interesting. And although learnerships happen for a duration of 12 months, to me, it makes sense that as soon as the employer sees a CV and a reference letter that has a workplace experience on it, it is more likely to increase the employment opportunity for that person. I mean, there's many young people like us who come from homes without working adults, and having had this opportunity of this learnership, in a way, this has contributed to my growth as an individual. I have seen that I am worthy and that, in fact, I am employable. Now to you, Miss Jackie, the graduate from this learnership, how can they use this qualification to get themselves ready for upcoming opportunities?
Again, it starts with you, right? Determination. What you've done, going to Sandton, not knowing where you're going, you applying for roles that were above you at that time, so it starts with you guys. So basically, you have to, after getting that qualification, that referral letter initially, and then later on you get the qualification, and I'm so happy that you guys are going to graduate. I think basically apply. Like Banele said, the internet is your oyster, so use it. Make sure your phone is charged. I know we've got load shedding, right? Because you can get a call. Apply. I would actually myself, if I was a learner, I would literally go and search on the net recruitment agencies, literally right now. I've done my experiences. I think I can do some roles, and then I'll literally enter the recruitment agencies and knock and submit. You can also do that. Actually, they've got offices here, a lot of them. The other thing that I would do myself, besides applying, I would also volunteer at the some companies nearby. Because when you volunteer, it's very safe to volunteer at a place where you can afford transport. Very, very safe. Yeah, that's basically what I would do. Avail myself. And one thing that I keep on saying to you guys when I'm facilitating is that I would also study. Free education, guys. I cannot emphasize this a lot. The fact that you made it to this learnership, chances are it's because you've got matric, right? So what are you waiting for? And it doesn't have to be university like Ms. K said. We've got TVETs, UNISA, so you can work while you are studying. So you can actually do that. Yeah.
Ms. K, here I'd like to throw in a question. and of course putting on this theme of creating employment opportunities. But in terms of the sustainability of these programs that you run, of placing the youth into these workplaces and looking at potential opportunities that need to be created in South Africa, what contribution can stakeholders make in ensuring that the youth is provided with these employment opportunities? Please, Ms. Kay.
We can give, the employer can take 100 learners on and say, you know what, we're prepared to absorb at least 50%. So 50% of them will be absorbed and 50% unfortunately can't, because that's what the budget allows. All right, employers can't double their staff complement, they don't have budgets for it. However, they can't also employ you if you haven't shown potential. So it's all very well to say to the employer, you've given me a learnership, now you must employ me. Sure, I can take 50%, but I'm going to take 50% of the best people. I'm not just going to absorb you because I said I'm going to absorb 50 people. Okay? And that is exactly what Banela was saying earlier. The people that show and respect and is on time, and it's up to you still as an individual. Employers can do what they like, they can promise you the world, but they cannot absorb people, they cannot employ people unless people are employable, if that makes sense. Jackie says something very true when and I'm sure you all remember when you had your induction. She says a simple thing like dress as you want, the job that you want, dress like that always. Because that's the attitude to get that job. That's your first step. You can't go for an interview looking scruffy. You can't go to work looking scruffy. You're not making yourself employable. And it's got a lot to do with it. It's your attitude. Companies, there's a Yes Project. I don't know if you know about the Yes Project, where companies have invested thousands and thousands and thousands of money, rands and cents, into the Yes Project. We're hosting, our interns are from the Yes Project. But unless they are employable at the end of the Yes Project, they walk out because we can't employ them.
Yes, please, Ms. Jackie.
Let's say SVA wants to hire, or the government, right? I feel like you said, Ms. K, the youth, they don't really know about this. So I think the solution, they have to go to the radios, because radio is free to listen to, right? Yes, radio is free. They can even advertise. They can even advertise on the, the billboards and so on, and which they're not doing. It's very rare. Like, I also found out about a learnership via a friend, and I don't even know where she found out the information. I really don't know. If you didn't send it you wouldn't have known about SVA.
Now, let's talk about skills as a form of education and getting people equipped so that they are ready. Banele, how do we as young people develop ourselves, and in what ways can we get ourselves skilled?
I think, again, I am going to go back to, for looking for the opportunities to study without having to, pay. There are a lot of programs that are available out there. They advertise online, which is where we need to be, right? And also we need to focus on community projects. So if you can't get an opportunity, maybe in the cities or wherever, to get a job or a learnership or an internship, there's always, places in the community where we can go to enhance our skills. We have old age homes, we have the police station, we have, government companies that are situated in the communities. This one company that's against drug abuse. We can go to such places and then we volunteer. We ask questions while volunteering, because they're not gonna say no to anybody who wants to help them doing their job and not have to pay that person. So it is very rare that you're gonna go to a company and ask to volunteer and then they deny you that opportunity. But if you can, then you go into that company, and then you make sure that you take maybe a booklet or something that you can always write down your notes, and then you just always practice what they're teaching you about how to communicate with the people you're handling there, how to do certain things like, using your mathematical skills, your numerical skills, your literacy skills, So I think we can focus on community projects. Go to maybe a sports place, a boxing club in the community. Just get yourself, familiar with how it works, how it operates. And then anytime that you can apply for a job, and then you add on your voluntary jobs under there, they will know that you are obviously not certified because you're volunteering, unless the company will want to, write a letter of attendance, and you can add that on your CV. But you'll then have the skills, you'll then have the knowledge, you will then have, the knowledge of what to do and how to communicate with people. I think that's the first and foremost skill that is of utmost importance, the communication. Because how then are you going to let your employer know what they need from you that you can give to them without being able to communicate it? So you need to, sharpen those skills. You sharpen your active skills, can be anything regarding the different community places that we went to for, the volunteering and all of that. So I think we can look at like community projects and get to assist, and then gain skills for free and cost effective.
Miss Jackie, to me, I would like to find out, you have mentioned what employment means to you. And to me, Miss Jackie, I would like to find out, what does employment mean to you today? What did it mean when you were a little bit younger, and what are you hoping it will mean going forward?
Employment is everything, guys. Being able to buy things for yourself, feed your family members, help out at home, and so forth. It's very important. I got lucky in life, I guess. I don't know. I loved school, I won't lie. I loved school. I loved to study. So that helped. And luckily in the school that I was at, they came and gave us some information about what to do in university, what grades you need to get in order to qualify. And I did that. I tried my best. And as time went on, after getting the degree, it was a bit difficult to get a job. Luckily, I didn't stay that long. But again, I was in Alex, and I had an internet cafe nearby. I was there 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. applying, literally. Went to the net. I checked how to do a CV. I asked my mom to check for me if it's correct. And literally, I got here in Alex, Jan. Feb, I got a job, guys. Yes, I was very, very blessed. Very, very blessed. And as time goes on, so that meant a lot. It was my first job, entry level. I was not really happy with where I was. So you're not going to always be happy with where you're at. But the fact that you're in, keep on working hard, and leave until you get another job, okay? Unless it's really, really that bad. I left, and then I knocked at Retail Relate offices. I volunteered, literally. And you can imagine using my last pay. And I got lucky, then they liked me. I was on time. My attitude was there. I know for sure. I gave it my all. And because I was a learner before, so they saw that they had that, past experience that I've got potential. So I got very, very lucky. And I studied. They gave me an opportunity to study, and I studied there. They made me what I am today. They are the reason why I stayed here in Johannesburg. Otherwise, I would have went home, literally. So employment is everything, guys. Keeping yourself busy, doing what you love. Sometimes you don't do what you love, but it pays the bills, like I said initially. It's not really about that. So yeah, that's basically a bit of my background. I'm still employed by the grace of God. So I guess it's because of, my attitude, not because I'm better than the next. Study more, get to know more, ask questions when you're in the employment environment. Like Banele said, have that zeal. They must see you in the office. I'm not saying change your personality, but at least when you're at the office, people love it. not be loud, not be energetic. If it's not your personality, it's not. But at least when I'm speaking next to you, I'm sitting next to you, I'm happy, I'm engaging with you, I am okay at work. So that also counts. Nobody wants to work with someone that's not. Yes. So employment is everything, guys. Being able to just wake up and having a career. It's very fulfilling. We are not where we are, but we are pushing each and every day.
So, Ms. K, this one goes to you. If you are given the opportunity, if you are given the resources and the tools to create your own young person, please share with us, how would that person be like? What attributions and what qualities would that young leader have, please?
Wow. Definitely a go-getter. I do like a bit of cheek, I'll be honest. I like a person that's got a little bit of humor. I don't always say they have to have the highest opportunities, but I always employed people that know more than I do. They're better qualified than I am, because I like to learn. So somebody that would share their knowledge and absorb our knowledge. Somebody that's hungry to learn and eager and love their job. Somebody that wants to get involved as a team player, not coming to work because I have to, but coming because I want to. Somebody that wakes up in the morning and says, I can't wait to get to work. That's my attitude that I want. That's totally dedicated, total team player. But yeah, that's a person. Male or female, doesn't immaterial to me. I have 3 very successful young sons, big sons, old sons, one's 40 already. But they all have that attitude. They will get out there and go. So be go-getters, guys. Go out there and say, here I am. And that's it. And that's who I'd like to employ.
Thank you very much, ladies and gent. To close off this conversation, Ms. Jackie, please leave us with a few words.
Never say you've reached the mark. Never say you know better than anyone. If you're a manager, you want to be an area manager. From that, you want to be... That's how it goes. Whatever career you're in, it doesn't mean... Yeah, whatever career you're in, you keep on learning and learning.